He's been digging at me for weeks and weeks. Behind the scenes, I'm doing nothing. I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm not this puppet master that I'm being painted out to be. I don't know who's... So basically, guys, what happened was... round about May last year, some information come out about Zach that he was manipulating people for money, and there were screenshots sent to me and other people, and I didn't want to touch this exposure. You know, I don't do exposures. I didn't want to touch it, and Kaz and Gracie joined forces to do the exposure, right? Obviously, because I do FYP show. I did give him shows. Because I do the FYP show, we would have made FYP show, right? So obviously he sent me messages, sent me pictures saying please just leave it out. And then I contacted I contacted Kaz, and I said to Kaz, you know, it needs to stop. This is what I've been sent. I was panicking. Obviously when you send pictures like that, it has an effect on you. I didn't want anything to happen. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, but I think the point that people are missing are that them pictures were sent to me in the first place. You know, it made me really, really scared. I was petrified when them pictures were sent to me. Yeah, it actually made me feel ill when I seen them pictures, and them pictures were sent to silence me, by the way. They were sent to silence me, but I weren't going to speak on it anyway. And me and Zach spoke after that, hence why we're friends now. And all this has been done for a purpose. It's all been done for a purpose. It's not just one person that is behind the scenes doing things, you know. It's a collective of people. And I'll be back Sunday. And I'll show everything. Because I've built up an amazing platform and people want it. And that's the truth. People want my platform. They're obsessed with the numbers. They're obsessed with everything that comes with it. I'm not. I do an hour and a half a day. I don't come on battling. I don't do content. I just want to do my show. That's all I want to do is my show. But people want it. People want it. And they'll go to any means to take it. And I'm not the only creator that this has been done to. You know, I'd rather have 1,000 people here that genuinely want to come here and watch me. 1,000 people, 500 people, 100 people that are here just to watch me. And I'm not over. I am not over, guys. I'm just not prepared at the moment. I've got nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like I've just a deer caught in headlights. So I will come on Sunday and I'll speak my truth, the truth. Things aren't how they're being painted out to be, guys. Thank you for the love. I'm not this horrible, mean person behind the scenes. I'm not this horrible person behind the scenes, guys. And I can't control what other people do around me. You know, like Alex and Zach have got their beef. Zach's gonna go back at Alex. Alex is gonna go at Zach. I can't control Alex. He's his own person. Kaz and Zach have their own beef. I can't control Kaz. I can't control Zach. You know, I'm not behind mass reporting. I'm not behind anything. Really, I'm not, guys. I've always supported Zach with his show. Always supported him. And I've always told him how proud I was of him. Just like I tell Luke and just like I tell any of my friends how proud I am of them. This isn't as it seems, and I promise you that. It really isn't. I've sent nobody. And I'm not trying to save face, and I'm not missing the point. The point is I was shared images to be silenced when I didn't need to be, you know, silenced because I weren't talking about it anyway. But it doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter how they impacted me. It doesn't matter how their images impacted me. Do you know what I mean? We all have low points. I've been at my lowest at times. I've been at my lowest at times. I would never put that on somebody else, ever. Never would have put that on somebody else. You know, if I'm having a bad day, I'll come off TikTok, you know. I don't forward my horrible times onto people. And he got my help. Hence why a year later, you know, we were friends. I wanted no involvement in anything, and I control no situations at all. CB, at the time, me and Zach weren't friends. We wasn't friends at the time, CB. We wasn't friends at the time, and the reason I told Kaz is because Kaz and Gracie were doing the exposure. I said, look, this is what I've just been sent through. Do you know what I mean? And that's the truth. I didn't sit there and call him horrible names. I just said, this is serious. Thank you guys for the love. Oh, look, it's not about sending them. I shouldn't have been sent them. I shouldn't have been sent them screen. What's the difference, right, with me receiving them images, right, that somebody sent me, and it was like a crime scene. Thank you for the love, guys. And Alfbar holding a knife to the throat. People didn't like seeing that, did they? People didn't like seeing somebody on live doing that. He didn't trust me because he didn't know me. We weren't friends. At that point, we wasn't friends. I didn't fucking know the guy. I'm just reading the comments, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the gifts, guys. At the end of the day, I had no involvement in that exposure, and I wasn't going to go ahead with it. And I tried my best to put a stop to it by saying, look, this is the seriousness of the situation. And them images were horrendous, absolutely horrendous. And he's got what he wants. He sent me flowers 4 weeks ago, telling me he loved me, telling me thank you for your support. And all of a sudden he's affected by this now. You just don't see. I'm not the manipulative one here. You just don't see what's going on. I want you to open your eyes. If I'm this big bad bitch, I'm this horrible person, why am I getting flowers? Why am I being told that people love me? You know, I love you. Thank you for your support. You're amazing. But yeah, I'm the bad guy. I'm the one that's holding the shots. I'm the one that's manipulative behind the scenes. I'm not manipulative behind the scenes. I've done nothing. Absolutely nothing. And there's no click. There's no horrible group chats. There's no click, you know, there's no order to anything. It's just me and a few friends that are good people, by the way. That's why they're friends. And I'm not a ringleader to anything. I'm here. I'm honest. I'm open. And I'll be back Sunday to do my FYP show. And I'll speak the truth. And I'll tell the truth. Nothing's falling down at all. I'm not accountable for anybody's actions, only my own. And this is what people aren't getting. Yeah, I'll be on 10 AM Sunday, guys. because obviously I wasn't prepared for this today. I've had to jump out of the bloody swimming pool, sun lounge area and jump on live because of what was going on in boxes. And those that don't want to watch, those that don't want to follow me, that don't want to watch the show, you don't have to. I'm not forcing you to be here. But I started something great, trusted the wrong people, gave the wrong people help, and I'm being painted out to be this villain, and I'm not a villain at all. I'm not the mean girl, I'm not the villain. So those that want to unfollow me, unfollow me. Those that want to tune in, tune in. I don't need 48 hours to prepare. I've got nothing to prepare for. I'm not the only one with this problem, you know. At the end of the day, I built up this platform with my own brain. Built up something amazing, brought something new to TikTok, and people want a piece of the apple pie, regardless of what they say. And I didn't mind people doing what I do. I fully supported it. But what I won't have is lies told about me. I'm not reporting, I'm not sending attack dogs, I'm literally not doing any of that. I really am not. And people didn't want me to come live because they know that I'm in a heightened state. And, you know, I talk a load of gibberish. Do you know what I mean? Tyrone was the first who did reaction, but mine's FYP and Gossip Guys, where I open the boxes. Tyrone was the first with the reactions, but mine was the first FYP show. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not panicking at all. I've got nothing to panic over. All right, let's work with facts, right? Let's go on facts. Where's the evidence, right? Because we like facts, we like evidence. Where's the evidence of me being a ringleader? Where's the evidence of me being a mean girl? Zach, I give you permission to show any WhatsApp messages from me where I've controlled you, where I told you to get off at 10 o'clock. I'm giving you now full permission to show any WhatsApp messages, right, of me trying to control you, giving you a hard time. I'm giving you permission to show WhatsApp, and it's illegal to share stuff without permission, and I'm giving you my permission. All right? Because if I need permission, because if I'm this bad person, surely there's evidence. Where's the evidence of me being this bad person? There's no evidence. I've done nothing to him. Nothing at all. It is illegal to share private messages, guys. That's what I'm saying. You can share it. There's nothing there. Because it's not true. It is not, none of this is true. It's a hate campaign to bring me down. Hate campaign to bring me down. And people just don't see it. Because I'm not manipulative enough. That's all it is. I'm not manipulative enough. Or perhaps they don't like me. I don't care. I'm not bothered. I don't care. Thank you, Linz. Thank you. The truth. I'm not this bad person that people are making me out to be. I haven't got trolls working for me. I've got no troll accounts. I haven't got FYP pages in my back pocket. If an FYP video is up bad, I'm not messaging these pages and asking these pages to take it down. I haven't got FYP pages working for me. And it was because I was concerned. It was purely out of being concerned, and that is it. Grace isn't lying. Grace obviously got confused. She hasn't got the full messages. I don't know whether she's pissed off with me because I kind of like, you know, had a little dig. Well, not a dig, I'll just give my truthful opinion about the whole Gracie and Already Clear situation. Do you know what I mean? But I've got no malice towards Gracie. But Kaz has proved today that... Thank you, Rebecca, darling, for the role. I never sent them on to Gracie. I sent them to Kaz and a mutual friend of mine and Zach's because I was... Obviously, if you get pictures like that, you fucking freak out. Kaz isn't a troublemaker. She's a good friend. She's a good friend to me. Kaz is a really good friend, as is Alex, as is Luke, as is Jade, Cockapoo. None of them have done anything wrong. They've done nothing wrong apart from beef the same person, but that isn't down to me. That must have been... I was petrified when them images come through. I didn't know what to fucking do. I didn't know what to do. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you, Corey. And I'm not going to cry. I've had a week out. I've had a break. I'm mentally clear. The images from Zach saying that if it don't stop, people are going to have blood on their hands. And I'm not here to speak about Pearl at the moment, guys. I'll speak about that Sunday, if that's okay.
Hello?
Hiya, darling.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, Kaz. At the end of the day, like, TikTok works on facts, right? And the facts are that I'm being accused of having all these attack dogs. I'm a master manipulator. Leave the comments on, please, Luke.
Look, darling, I literally just wanted to explain the truth, and I talk from a place of truth, and that's always something that I've done on here, whether you like me or not, guys. I personally just think you're not understanding. Miss Red isn't saying that it might have not been wrong at the time, but you guys are not understanding how it happened. If this was Elphaba, if this was Ems, if this was anyone else that was going around sending triggering images of self-harm to another creator on this app, it would be a whole other different story. You're not going to the root. You're not understanding that this person sent pictures of self-harm to Miss Red so she felt that she could no longer speak her truth and speak on what she felt was right or wrong. That is what I'm talking about here. So you can hate me, you can say what you want to say. I've come on to explain what happened. I personally feel, and this is my opinion, yes, people can have a problem with Miss Red. That's fine. Have a problem with Miss Red, but come with facts. Come with why you have a problem. Not jump on a hate campaign when everyone else has already got it in for one person at the moment. So that's how I feel, okay? So I came live to explain what happened. And if it's okay with you, Miss Red, I will quickly explain it again. Is that okay? So, Miss Red was sent triggering images of what Zach was doing. She was then told to not speak about it or there will be blood on her hands. Trigger warning, guys. Okay. So, within a triggering state of mind and being absolutely shocked because Miss Red never asked or chose to see them images, she called her friend, because that's what you do when a friend is in a place of despair or a friend is a place of hurt. So she called a friend, which was me. At the time, there was issues going on with me, Gracie, and Zach. I felt I could trust Gracie, so I asked her what she thought of this. In a group conversation, because Gracie said she doesn't remember, I remember very vividly. In a group call, Gracie asked, because of how distressed Miss Red was on that phone call, to also see these messages. So, Miss Red forwarded them on to me to then show Gracie. That is the truth there, okay? What I didn't like this morning is Gracie decided to jump in on this. In my opinion, Miss Red ain't saying it. This is my opinion. We're all out our own opinion. It's because there was an incident that happened a few weeks ago on Miss Red's platform with her. And she decided to now jump on this hate campaign, in my opinion, and blame her for something when she never did that. So I've come and I've spoke the truth. That's the truth. I've shown you messages which you still choose to not believe. Gracie went live saying how triggering it was and how she couldn't believe it at the time. That's not what the messages say. In them messages, you said how disgusting it was and how bad you felt for Miss Red, that she has to face this, that she has to be brought these messages. What you lot are not understanding here and what you're struggling to understand, and you're all running with one narrative that because you hate one person due to like a bit of other creators, is that why in the first place is Miss Red being sent images of self-harm? Did she ask to see that? Did she choose to see that? But no, if that was Elphaba doing that, it would be World War III. If that was me doing that, it would be World War III. If that was Ems doing that, it would be World War III. But because it's Zach, it's okay. Because he was going through a hard time. So it's okay, guys. There's nothing wrong with that because he was going through a hard time. How about the way Miss Red felt after seeing that? How sick she felt, calling me, crying her eyes out. Because she has to be faced with that and have that on her conscience to always know that she's seen something like that. Or how I felt. But because you hate one person right now, because you've decided to listen to a twisted agenda, you're running with a narrative. I don't give a fuck. Gracie decided, in my opinion, to jump on this train today and ride that train due to the hate that Evil Queen's receiving. This is another thing that I don't understand. Gracie, not too long ago, made a video saying how disgusting it is what happened to Elphaba, which I don't like Elphaba, but I agree with how disgusting, and no one should be seeing that on live. So if it was so disgusting, Grace, this is my question to you. You're managing a creator, Evil Queen, right? Which to me completely takes away your credibility as a person, okay? You're managing a creator that is openly sharing them explicit videos in a Discord as we speak. But that's okay. So tell me the hypocrisy there then, guys. Explain that to me. Hate who you want, like what you want, but I come with truth and that's my truth. Gracie decided to make things 20 times worse today to stir the pot, in my opinion, when at the time you was very much wanting to see them images because of the state Miss Red was in, which is the images that I showed today with the messages, where she said, wow, where she said this is so fucked up, where she said I've gone through this myself and I would never share messages if I was struggling, where she said, oh my God, poor Miss Red, why did she get messages like this? But no, because you hate one person, you're twisting on an agenda. That's all I've got to say. Like I said, if Gracie said it's so wrong and she made a video saying how triggering it is with what Elphaba did, you're managing, supporting a creator that is sharing what Elphaba done all over her Discord as we speak. And you manage that creator. Need I say more? I love you, my darling.
I love you too, Kaz. We know the truth. We see it for what it is. Hiya, Cockapoo.
Hiya. So this isn't stage managed. There's no script. We haven't spoken. I didn't know you were going to go live. What I understand, I didn't know until Kaz went live, that you were sent some images. Were you sent those by Zach or by somebody else?
By Zach.
Okay. So you got those images because you were running FYP at the time and there was a potential that you were going to discuss the story online. And obviously, Zach, you know, was very, very stressed out by what was going on. You know, he's explained, I've listened to him on his live. He was having a terrible time at the time with whatever the stories were. It was before I was sort of on the app, I think. But the thing for me is, those images were sent to you, in my opinion, to actually stop you from doing the expose and also to gag the two people that were trying to expose him, which was Gracie and Kaz.
I wasn't going to touch that exposure anyway, Cockapoo, because I don't do exposures. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, because I do my FYP page, he obviously found a way because he didn't want it on the FYP show, and I got them images, and I just thought, Jesus fucking Christ, you know what I mean? But he knew all about this, you know, he's known for a long time.
Were you friends with Kaz at the time?
Yeah.
So you knew that they were basically working up this story around what had gone on?
Yeah.
Okay. And was he friends with Kaz? No, because they were beefing.
But Kaz and Zach were both beefing.
And Grace.
And Gracie, yeah.
Yeah. So you got the images, I think, with the view to trying to help stop that expose. Now, not because it didn't happen, or I'm not suggesting any form of manipulation of what happened, but more to do with trying to stop that coming out any more than it was already out on the app at that time. Yeah.
But like I say, I wasn't going to touch it, and I did speak to him after, because I didn't really know much about Zach. Do you know what I mean? And I was doing an FYP show, and the people were typing Zach in the comments, and I was like, Zach the Brat is a scammer, innit? And then he sent me a message, and we spoke after that. Do you know what I mean? So
if you hadn't sent the images to reinforce the absolute dire straits that he was in, do you think Kaz and Gracie would have stopped?
Do you know what, Cockapoo? I just, at that time when I got sent them, I also sent the images to a mutual friend, you know what I mean? And I sent them to mine and Zach's mutual friend, because I freaked out, and the fact that he said one of you is going to have blood on the hands, and I was like, Jesus Christ. So I reached out to Kaz, because her and Grace were doing this, exposure thing, and it just went from there. Do you know what I mean? And like people saying I shouldn't have sent them on, I shouldn't have been sent them. I should not have been sent them images in the first place. It's not a case of... I'm telling you now, I'd have done exactly the same thing.
If I thought someone's life was in danger, and I thought that people potentially would have been putting themselves in the situation of causing that, then I would have done exactly the same thing. I would have shared information to stop them in their tracks, because that was the seriousness of the situation.
Yeah, but at that time, that's not what he was doing. These pictures were previously something he went through. He at the time, that wasn't, from what I remember, the here and now. Do you get what I'm saying? It was something previous that he went through.
Okay, but potentially it could be the same thing again, because that was I understand. Okay, which to me makes no difference, basically. So there are probably people that are never going to believe what you say, and there are probably people that are sat on the fence and think, well, in this situation I'd have done X, Y, Z, and there are people who would believe and trust that that's not who you are and that's not how you move. The thing is, for me, I suppose over the last however long, so here's what I have seen. Zach only came into my visibility when actually I was watching you, and I'd seen him battling G Crew, and at the time there was some sort of, I didn't really understand, there was something to do with, what was it, Beyonce tickets and what have you, and he's talked about that. He's talked about that openly, because I've watched him. So for me, when I started watching him as a result of you, he was standing in for you, I think, or something around that time, and then he started to do his own show, and I was like, I don't really know. I'd heard this stuff about him. I don't really know. I think he said to me, oh, Cockapoo, I don't think you like me. And I said, I'll be honest, I'm on the fence. I'm just going to see how it goes. And that was like when I first started watching him. And I've watched him, and I'll say it again, I've always liked his format. I've liked his sense of humour. I like that acid clapback that he does, that he's really good at. Okay. Up until recently, he's always welcomed me into his room. He's always, said things like, when he's been talking about who these people are that are coming for him, and I've never really understood. And I've said, what, do you think I'm one of those people? Oh, no, Cockapoo, not you, not you. And so this morning, I was working and I really couldn't watch. It was mute because I was on calls and things. But this morning, I saw one of the screen recordings that came out afterwards. And on there, it had my name sort of in lights as being one of these people. So I watched the screen recording, and at the very last moment, he said, Cockapoo the snake. I'm a snake, or I'm I'm one of the snakes or whatever. And I'm thinking, what the hell? What is it that I've done? And then somebody sent me something else, which he's alluded to the fact that I have called him or messaged him, I'm not quite sure which, to tell him not to be on at 10 o'clock, which I am telling you now, I have never done. No one would ever make me do that, right? You, nobody. I would not do that, because I have always said and still believe This isn't the BBC. There is no scheduling. People will go where they want to go and watch who they want to be. So from my perspective, that is the truth. I have had contact with Zach. I've had contact with Zach the first time when I asked you to give him my number because of a message he sent to you about me and someone else, okay? And I said, I want to speak to him because I don't really understand where this is coming from. And I'm not a live creator, I'm not a streamer. So we had a conversation, and at the end of the conversation, you know, I look back on that now and I think, well, maybe he was just saying that it was all okay and there was no problem. But the reality is, Kitana, go on mute. The reality is that I continue to watch him. I continue to, you know, be in his room and support him. And it was, I think, the back end of last week. Oh, I rang him 2 weeks ago. The first time was when we spoke about this thing where he seemed to think that I was in the background, some sort of master manipulator was sort of the context of the message. If we're allowed, I can share that message. I've got no problems. But that was a message between you and Zach. He didn't send that to me. And then the thing for me is, the second time I called him was because I wanted to make sure that he understood that there was no one trying to take his show, that you were also getting reported. You were also having all of your content reported, as was he, right? Yeah. That was the second call. And, you know, I remember him answering the phone. He said, oh my God, I feel like the bat phone's gone off. And we had a chat, and that was cool, I thought. And then there was something going on in his room, and I didn't believe that he understood that one of the people that was in his room was basically saying things on another platform about him in relation to these other accusations. And I sent him a message, screenshot what was being said, and said, just I want you to know that this is what's being said about you by someone that comes into your room on another platform. And that was another message. And today, when I heard that he'd said this about me somehow being involved in trying to get him off after 10 o'clock, I rang him. He didn't answer, and that's his prerogative, right? But I rang him. I wanted to have that conversation with him, and I sent him a message to follow up on that. And you know, so here's that's my context in all of this. I wish to God this hadn't happened. I don't think it was needed. I think that he's triggered by what he thinks people are doing rather than what's actually happening.
That's it. Like, you know, we have to go on facts, and the facts are that I'm not behind the scenes trying to take him down. I can't control that Zach has beef with Kaz, or Zach has beef with Alex, or Zach has beef with G Crew. I base me and Zach on me and Zach, and I don't agree with playing dirty. I've never agreed with playing dirty. You know, there's a few things that I haven't agreed with what Zach's done. But I'll just let things, you know, slide, or I'll speak to a mutual friend of ours just to, like, you know, speak to her basically. But like I say, like, I'm being accused of stopping people from going live at 10 o'clock, and it isn't the case. I had one whinge one time, you know, and I've had a few whinges about other stuff because I don't think the loyalty's been there. Truth of the matter is, it kind of like, my eyes were open massively when I had a conversation with him, and I spoke to him on the phone, and I said, Zach, do you know, how do you get this split screen? Because what I want to do is, and this is the truth, what I want to do is, I want to show my FYP videos on the split screen, do you know, like Tyrone does. And 2 weeks later, fast forward, and he's obviously fired up his live, and he's got this split screen thing that I asked him about. And you know, I spoke to him about this split screen, and he come on and he had the split screen, and that was another moan that I had, because I was like, well, I spoke to you about it, and he was like, well, I didn't do it, somebody else did it. I was like, oh, okay then. So that was another time over the split screen thing, which was my idea, by the way. I just didn't know how to do it.
Do you know what though? All of that is just, you know, shit and niff naff.
Well, it is, but this is it. This is the only moans that I've had. Like, there was, you know, a thing with Delusive Angie. I had a moan one time when he was in Miami, and the split screen thing. And there's nothing else that's been said, nothing else that's been done. I haven't told him to come off at 10 o'clock. I haven't tried to control him. I've done nothing. You know, that's the only kind of like little arguments that we've had. So, you know, I don't understand how this has all been blown out of, like, you know, on this bad woman. I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to bring him down.
But last week, Evil Queen was accusing you of manipulating from Tenerife, that somehow Jay was being promoted because there needed to be somebody else in this circle and God knows what. I mean, I don't know whether it's just TikTok does that to people's brains, where you actually end up thinking that everybody's against you and that, you know, there's all kinds of plans hatched behind the scenes to take people down. Maybe there are. Maybe I'm just a bit stupid and don't see that.
You know, and I've been saying it for weeks, but I've been told that I'm being paranoid. And I've been seeing, I
was one of the people that told you were being paranoid.
Yeah, and I've seen it coming. I've been dug out for weeks and weeks, and I've like tried to have conversations and things like that. And I think an opportunity was taken when this whole Pearl thing come out, and Zach said that he was gaslit and controlled, and told, you know, we had this group call and he felt coerced, and that wasn't the case. There was no coercing that happened. Do you know what I mean? It's just that he come on, had his say, got a bit of backlash in comments, and he didn't like it and then retracted, which is completely up to him. But on that group call, there was no coercion. There's been no coercion. Like, I'm not coercing anybody, you know. It's not the case. It's not true.
Kitana, people want to hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me today?
I can hear you, darling.
Right, so I've just got a few questions. So did you say that Zach sent you photos of self-harming?
He sent pictures of, yeah, something like that.
So it was triggering. Was it of him?
It was a scene after.
Because I'm sorry, with a person who's dealt with mental health and it still goes through it, that's not a cry. People might disagree with me. That's not a cry for help. That's attention. Zach knows I like him. I love him. But if he's okay sending pictures like that, and then he's okay to ring the doctors and say, I need help, he shouldn't be sending pictures like that to anyone. It's not fair. And other people have to see that, and then they're in distress. And I do agree. If something like that happened to me, if someone sent me pictures, I personally wouldn't send them round to them. I'd call them and say, you need to get yourself sorted out. It's not okay what you're doing. I just want to say it's not fair.
Yeah, and that's my daughter, guys, by the way.
Oh, I wasn't sure whether it was you or not, Katana.
She's downstairs.
So he might have been sectioned, so he got help, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't be sending pictures like that to other people. It's not fair on them.
Yeah. Katana, go and enjoy your holiday anyway.
Well, me and Tilly's been waiting now for you, and I'm all sunburnt, so I'm going now to have a shower.
I'm not being funny, Katana. Go and tell her to go and get another handbag on me.
I will. But that's all I'm saying is,
all right,
Zach knows I love him. I've always liked Zach. But from my point of view, what he's done is wrong. I'm glad he's got help. But for things like that, it's not fair on other people. And from my point of view, sharing the photos isn't good either. I know, obviously, you wanted help and guidance, but I personally wouldn't have done that because I want people seeing if I've done something like that, if you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, everyone's adults. They need to act like adults. All this like beef going on with Evil Queen, and 1 minute she's friend, 1 minute she she's trying to get at you. It's an app. People need to grow up. So just saying. But I'm going anyway. Bye. Love you.
I love you. Sorry for the 10 yet. You're joking, it, yeah? I'd have to babysit.
Right. I don't think there's much more. Oh,
Why are people saying I'm finished? I'm not finished, guys, at all.
look, you know, there's other creators on the app that could bury their mother under the patio
And my Wi-Fi
and would still go live. This ain't that deep, basically. Oh, looks like you've gone. You're on repeat. Are you back?
Guys, is that me or Cockapoo?
I think it's you.
Yeah, it's this is what I'm saying. My Wi-Fi's gone yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, guys.
I don't know who it is, but I agree with you. No apology necessary as far as I'm concerned. So you did what you did, and you did it with the right intentions. You didn't do it so that they could basically be exposed.
For what, Cockapoo?
I said I'm agreeing. No apologies required. You did what you did, not to expose anyone, not with bad intention, but to actually stop the two people that could potentially make Zach be in the same position he was when those pictures were shared before, when those from whatever happened before. And I'm trying to be really careful here. And that's my point of view on it. And as far as I'm concerned, you can hate my point of view. I don't give a shit. Donna, come off now.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Cockapoo, darling.
All right. Speak to you later.
Yeah, I'm gonna round up in a couple of minutes. Like I say, I'm gonna address things properly on Sunday. Bye, darling.
Yeah. Bye.
Guys, I don't know if you can hear me, but I will be back on Sunday once I'm in England because the Wi-Fi is shit. I haven't got what I need and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like a fish out of water. So at the end of the day, guys, regarding the images that were shared to me, because I think this is like mainly the whole, you know, at the time I shared them because Kaz and Gracie were doing an exposure. I do believe they were sent to me to silence me from doing FYP news. I wasn't going to talk about it anyway. I'm going to keep it real. And when I received them images, it put me in a really, really bad place. I was very distressed, obviously because of the state of the pictures. And yeah, and that's it. It never come from a bad place, the reason for me sharing them. I just didn't want, you know, anyone being hurt because I didn't know really, you know, the ins and outs of how everybody is. But I do believe that them pictures were sent to silence me, and that's the truth. And I'll stand by that. I should have been asked permission to be sent them as well. Never mind sharing them, sending them to people that are doing exposures. I should have been asked permission to be sent them. Can you put a few people in the boxes, please? Guys, he wasn't my friend at the time. I didn't really know him.
Hi, Miss Red.
Hi, darling.
Hi, I am 100% on your side with this. 110%. They're all going out, digging at you. There's a lot more of them than there is you, but I think the majority of people will see who has made the big mistake. You only sent the pictures to... because you were scared for that person. And I would do the same if that was my friend and I needed it to get off my chest. I would send it to somebody else and say, what do I do about this? And and that you
I
would.
think you're as bad as Cockapoo, if I'm honest. I think just saying that, oh yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. This road's absolutely fine. No, it's not. You shouldn't be sending messages like that. If you think that someone's life is at risk, you should be sending it to the police. It's not a thing. You don't send it around to all your friends and go, oh,
Guys,
Send it to one person, then the other people.
Absolutely not. You're a bully. You're an absolute bully.
Georgia,
You're bullying other people
at the
on
time,
app, and it's not a thing.
At the time, Georgia,
You've come on your holiday and you're crying about it. It's pathetic. Absolutely not.
I'm not crying. I'm about to come on and address it because I'm getting fucking slandered.
Shut up.
I'm getting slandered all over TikTok for shit that's not true.
You've come on
Right,
your
you're
holiday.
letting someone and you're talking over us.
Oh no.
Right? You're enjoying your holiday.
You keep muting me. You keep muting me because you don't want to hear the truth. I'm the only person telling you the truth.
Oh, can I tell her the truth? You've proven you can't be trusted. You're saying, I wouldn't do that in this situation. He's nearly killed, offed himself. And all you can do is pass it on to two people who want to expose him over some schoolyard stuff. You're all kids, acting like kids. You're meant to be grown adults. I was a fan of yours, Misread, but you're bang on about mental health this, mental health that. You're the biggest kid in the playground going. That's how I can imagine. I'm suffering at the moment. I've been triggered by that Alpha Bar one with the Plazzy knife on her neck. And now I'm triggered by poor Zach, who nearly off himself. He's got protection.
You've just said it, Scouser, right? You got triggered. You got triggered. No, but I'm speaking now. It's my life, darling. You got triggered by what Alpha did. How the fuck do you think I felt when them pictures were sent me? How do you think I felt when I had no involvement in the whole thing? You got triggered by Alpha with that knife to the throat. How do you think I felt when I got them fucking pictures? What, I'm meant to just sit there and say shit? I'm not going to speak to people that are actively, exposing somebody.
No, what you're to be sent them pictures. He was desperate. He was in a desperate state. End of. You've just shown you're not can't be trusted.
A desperate state to silence people. A desperate state to silence people.
Because if you at him on your FYP show, which is all a big gossip show for all the ones who got a little sad lives and that. You're the one that was helping Grace and Mama Kaz getting all the little information and that. That Mama Kaz needs to shut her gob as well. She's the one to blame. She started all this last night having a go about